Join us for this virtually possible event as we transform Niagara to the New Orleans of the North. Get your mask, beads, baubles, and feathers on. Enjoy Cajun and Creole food, classic cocktails, and dance the night away. Celebrate with us on your porch, in your garden, in your living room, or in your driveway. And wait for the band to parade by. Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras, July 18, 2020. It's coming. Just watch and see.
The TD Niagara Jazz Festival presents Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras Sessions. Join us online every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we bring New Orleans to the north. Direct from the Crescent City, Dancin' Man 504, Windex Pete, Christopher Butcher of the Heavyweights Brass Band, and more. Featuring mask making, Cajun cooking demos, musical spoons, second line dance steps, cocktail demos, funky fashion tips, and musical clips. Tune in for these free sessions on our Facebook or YouTube channels, Jazz Niagara. Then we'll celebrate Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras together this summer on July 18th. It's virtually possible. Just watch and see.
Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras Sessions are brought to you in part by TD, the City of St. Catharines, and the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Again, hi, my name is Juliette Dunn on behalf of the TD Niagara Jazz Festival. And before we get into our show for this evening that I know you're very excited about, just wanted to tell you a little bit about Mardi Gras next week. So we have sessions on our Facebook and YouTube channel /Jazz Niagara, where you can learn about the history of New Orleans, the culture. You can learn how to make a mask. You can learn some recipes for Cajun food, some cocktails, some dance steps. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, some funky outfits. And then, okay, good. It looks like we're good. You can hear me. And then you'll be ready for Mardi Gras. Now, we're online, like most things nowadays. And it'll be Saturday, July 18th from 3 p.m. until 11 p.m. Doesn't matter where, Eastern time. Doesn't matter where you are in the world because you can tune in. And we're also, if you don't want to cook or cook with us with our cooking demos, you can get takeout here locally with Grantham House. And you can also get your takeout cocktails. There's a hurricane cocktail and a whiskey lemonade, and you get it all in your takeout package. So that's very exciting. It's all on our website. So that's what those videos are about. That's Mardi Gras. I'll talk a little bit about it at the end of the show, but let's get into the show. So let me bring on our co-creator of the festival, Mr. Peter Shea. And there he is. Hey, Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Hey,
lovely wife.
I'm doing better now that I think everybody can hear me. I think Bonnie can give me thumbs up. Phew. And
it's sounding great. Sounding great.
Oh my gosh. Every time. Like it's our 35th
show, and there's always things to iron out.
Yeah, but it keeps us on our toes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you want to say a little word about our Jazz for the Ages youth competition that we've been doing over the years?
Yeah, it's been an amazing component of the festival, and it's really grown. It's connected youth and brought them together from the whole Horseshoe region and beyond. It's formed bonds and relationships beyond the competition itself, and it's a major thing in bringing youth together in a setting where they can perform almost in a concert setting, even though we try to make the finals somewhat like our festival, so that they can get that. We have an AV crew and a stage, so on so many levels, it's just been an amazing thing. I can't say enough good things about it. And bringing in all these incredible adjudicators like Terry Clark and Leslie Mitchell-Clark, just a wealth of great, like Adrian Frugia, just all kinds of great judges to adjudicate these young kids and connect with them, the next generation. And that's really what it's all about, passing the torch on to the next generation.
Absolutely. So we're going to bring on a gentleman who is, I'm going to confirm his age, because He won. He was the winner in his category. So originally he was in the 12 and under category. I'm going to bring them on.
Yeah.
James Dunbar, and he's won twice in his age category. He's a young pianist. And now I can't remember how old he is now. Here he is, James Dunbar. James, how old are you now?
I'm 16 years old.
16. So the first time that you auditioned and you took home the prize, you were in the 12 and under category, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and so James also won last year. He's an amazing piano player, and we're just so thrilled to have him here on the show. James, you've started to gig regularly when we're not in COVID around Toronto, right? Which is where you live?
Yeah, so I definitely frequented the Jazz Bistro. I had the 6 to 8 gig weekly, and I did that for about 3 years.
Great.
As well as playing different jazz clubs around Toronto, various private shows and festivals.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
Excellent.
we're so thrilled that you're opening tonight for Laila Biali, and I believe you have 2 numbers for us.
Yeah, right. So the first song I'm going to be playing is It Could Happen to You by Chet Baker.
Excellent. So Peter and I are going to disappear and give you the full screen.
Sounds good. Perfect.
So have a great couple of songs.
Have a great show, James.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
All right, well, the first song I'm going to be playing tonight is It Could Happen to You by Chet Baker, the age-old classic. And the second I will be playing is Bossa Nova Wave by Antonio Carlos Jobim. I hope you all enjoy. electric piano to spice a little bit of things up. I hope you enjoy.
amazing. Yay! Thanks, James. Thank you so much. That was just...
That's where the latency kicks in. I can clap and it sounds like a big, very big, like a huge crowd.
That's perfect. So thanks again for joining us. Thank you so much for opening for Laila. Do you have some fun plans for this summer?
Just play a lot, you know, practice.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, perfect my skateboarding, I guess, on the side.
Awesome.
So much great things to do. It's going to be great weather, and I'm looking forward to all of it.
Excellent.
Just be careful with those precious wrists. You don't want to put the wrist guards on, man. You gotta those piano fingers, those precious piano fingers. You don't want to lose that ability you have. It's amazing.
Exactly. Well, thanks again for joining us, James. Have a great rest of the summer, and we hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Take care,
So
James.
once again, that was James. Oh, we got some more clapping for James. James Dunbar, everyone, only 16 years old, and such a
He only
great
gets better every time we see him. It's just amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Peter, we're going to bring on another special guest before we get to our featured performer. We have not only a sponsor for this evening, but also a renewed sponsor. They've come on board once again for year 3 as our official volunteer sponsor. And that's our friend and sponsor, Ron Minkin.
Ron Minkin, everybody.
Minkin Employment Lawyer.
Welcome.
So let me just grab Ron. I love this StreamYard. And there he is.
Hey!
Hello.
Ron, you got so dressed up. You're making us look
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I just
from the
got
waist
this
up.
I just got this from out of the past 70s shop here. You put me to shame here.
You look fantastic.
From the waist up is all you can see, Julie.
All right.
Oh, well, listen, yes.
He's got a kilt on underneath, right?
How are you this evening?
Great, fantastic. Really looking forward to this tonight.
Absolutely. Us as well. We can't thank you enough for all you've done in the past for the festival and your continued support as a friend and sponsor.
Well, they call you the dynamic duo, Juliet and Peter. And we have Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. So you guys make a great team, and really without the both of you to coordinate all this, we wouldn't be having a Niagara Jazz Festival. So we should thank you, and we really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, our pleasure.
Thank you.
We're going to disappear and let you say a few words about your company, and then I'm going to put up your slide, and then we're going to bring in our featured performers. So let me just remove Peter and I for a second.
Great. Thank you, Juliet. Actually, I'm not going to say anything about our company. What I want to talk about is Laila. And I'm sure Juliet doesn't mind if I give you a bit of background as to how we came about involved in the sponsorship and presenting this evening and this season. When I first heard, I was connected with Juliet today. When I first heard that Laila Biali was performing tonight, I thought, hands down, we got to present her. Let's renew our volunteer sponsorship with the Niagara Jazz Festival. So we did that. And a bit of background, I first met Laila, I think it was about 15 years ago. And that was at the Old Mill restaurant in Toronto. And wow, amazing, talented, charismatic. We were blown away. And since then, we've gotten to know her family, Ben and Josh, and they're great people. We truly love them dearly. And they're hard workers, they're diligent, and they're truly talented artists. So a lot of you, I should say also, since then she's become world famous. She's performed across the world and fantastic, and we're blessed to have her actually live in our city of Toronto. So a lot of people have asked, why does Minkin Employment Lawyers, why are we involved with music, with jazz, with Laila Biali or the Niagara Jazz Festival? And frankly, the answer is we love jazz. We love jazz artists. My wife, Natasha, also loves jazz. That's a pretty good reason to support. And all at our firm, we're just hooked on music and the people and the power from music. And truly, we all believe that music is a gift. And if we can share some gift with you, especially in these times that are troublesome and concerning, then music is a gift that we would love to share with each and every one of you tonight. So my thanks goes out to Laila and her team, Ben, Josh, and her team for performing this evening and for continuing to perform and to make our heart glad. And Juliet and Peter, truly, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts on behalf of our firm Minkin Employment Lawyers. You put this together. Without you guys, there would not be a Niagara Jazz Festival. So we thank you kindly, dearly. And to all the, I hear there's over 20,000 viewers out there. And that isn't just Niagara on the Lake or Niagara Falls or Toronto. I don't think we have that many people in Toronto. This is from across the entire world. So Laila, you've really made a name for yourself by your amazing abilities, and the truly people who appreciate music, jazz, good music. We're all listening to you tonight, and we wish you the best. Thank you. And now enough of me and all of you. Thank you very much.
Ron, thank you so much. That was really wonderful. I'm just going to put up your slide, and then we're going to bring on our guests for this evening. And thanks again for those lovely words, and thanks for being our friend and sponsor once again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And now, everyone, let me introduce our featured performer for this evening. And thanks once again to our friend and sponsor, Ron Minkin from Minkin Employment Lawyers, for supporting the show and for supporting the festival, because they're also our volunteer sponsor. So for the whole season, thanks again. I'm so excited about this show. Peter and I are so excited about the show, and to bring on our featured performer, Laila Biali. Laila, she's simply spectacular. She's not only one of the best jazz vocalists, and not just jazz, but vocalists and pianists in the world, but also one of the nicest people I've ever met, and I know that Peter's ever met as well. She's kind, she's sincere, she's genuinely a happy person, which is so lovely, and it really comes through in her music. She's an award-winning performer. She's a Canadian singer-songwriter, and she has toured with Sting, Chris Botti, Suzanne Vega, and the list goes on. So you have a good idea of the quality of the performer you're about to see. She's headlined festivals and venues spanning 5 continents. I know because of COVID, she had to actually cancel a tour that she had. She's probably going to tell you a little bit about that, because everyone in the world had to kind of change their MO because of COVID. And luckily, we were allowed to bring her in, live streaming her tonight for you. She's won the 2019 JUNO Award for Vocal Jazz Album of the Year, SOCAN Composer of the Year, and Keyboardist of the Year at Canada's National Jazz Awards, a JUNO nomination for her studio recording Tracing Light, and a spot on DownBeat Magazine's Best Albums of the Year list for her follow-up Live in Concert. In the words of the Washington Post, her sound masterfully mixes jazz and pop, bringing virtuosity and unpredictability to the songs that are concise and catchy. So without further ado, because I know you're all chomping at the bit, let's bring on Laila, and we have a special guest with Laila. Ben Whitman, there they are, yay!
Yay!
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Juliet. Yay!
Excellent. Thanks so much for doing this, you guys. How are you this evening?
We're great. James sounded so wonderful, and Ron is just such a dear person. We just feel like we're among family, so it's great to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were reminiscing with Peter, and I thought it was your show that Ron had sponsored at the Plato Markham Theater, but it was actually, we went to see, I don't know where Peter went, Mike Stern, and that's where we saw you, because you were seeing, there's Peter, here we go. It was Mike Stern, right, Peter?
Hey, guys.
We bumped into Laila and Ben at the Mike Stern concert.
Here we go.
There we go. Costume change. Peter, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, sorry. No.
There we go. Oh, you just wanted to wear the hat to match.
I did want to. I had the hat sitting right beside the bed, so.
Anyway, I was just saying it was. We bumped into Laila at the Mike Stern concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a couple of years.
Oh, that. We were reminiscing about that. That was so fun. Right. What a great night. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And thanks to Ron, who brought us out to the show that night. So there you go.
Exactly. So we're gonna disappear and let you. We're gonna hear some of your songs. I believe the first one up is Sugar. So did you want to tell us a little bit about Sugar?
Sure. This is a song off of our new release, Out of Dust. which came out on March 27th, shortly after the world went into lockdown. And the version on the album features this really funky bass line from Rich Brown. And so Ben and I had to figure out how to do it as a duo. And it's still so much fun to play. And it's basically about, it's a confession about my addiction to sugar, but it's sort of unapologetically confessing.
Yeah.
Nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 2 slides that I like to put up before, and I should have put them up before James, just so that people can make sure they've got their sound right, and another little slide too. So I'm going to remove Peter and I. We're going to put that up, and we're going to pull up Sugar. And also, I just wanted to let everybody know, as you can see, there's always technical things that happen with these streaming. So Laila and Ben took the time to record their songs for us, so we're going to bring them up one by one, and I'm really glad we got to do that. You know, just for quality assurance. So if you're wondering why they're wearing different outfits and things look different, that's why. Okay, so let me play.
Change.
I'm going to play these 2 slides, and then we're going to bring up Sugar. I'll see you in a second.
Awesome.
Sugar, because I'm all so tired. Sugar, because I'm uninspired. Sugar, because I work so fast. Sugar so sweet, it's gonna help me last. Sugar, because I didn't plan. Sugar, to help me understand. Sugar, so I can make it through. Sugar tastes sweeter when I listen. Because I'm all so sad. Sugar, because I feel so bad. Sugar, so I can just forget. Sugar, because my mind is sad. Sugar, because I'm lonely still. Sugar, cause there's a hole to fill. Sugar, because I don't cost much. Sugar so sweet it's like a human touch. In your soul, you eat in your pie. No one to get in your way. Deep in the heart, and we're flying high. No better end to the day. Sugar, because it's on my brain. Sugar, when I can feel the shame. Sugar, because you disapprove. Sugar so sweet, it's gonna help me move. Sugar, because you comfort me. Sugar, you know you set me free. Sugar, when I can feel the leg. Sugar so sweet, and when you don't look back. Something you sold, you eat in your pie. No one to get in your way. Deep in the honey, then we're flying high. No better end to the day. Give me my chocolate, my fudge, and my cake. Nobody's body but mine. No one can tell me it's all a mistake. 'Cause I don't belong to the Sugar, my friend, sugar, my foe, sugar, my fast, sugar, my slow, sugar, my high, sugar, my low, sugar, my stop, sugar, my go, sugar, my good, sugar, my bad, sugar, my joy, sugar, my sad, sugar, my anthem, sugar, my flag. Sugar, my friend, sugar, my foe, sugar, my fast, sugar, my slow, sugar, my high, sugar, my low, sugar, my stop, sugar, my go, sugar, my good, sugar, my bad, sugar, my joy, sugar, my sad, sugar, my anthem, sugar, my flag. Sugar, my friend, sugar, my foe, sugar, my fast, sugar, my slow, sugar, my high, sugar, my low, sugar, my stop, sugar, my go, sugar, my good,
so many great comments. I didn't want to post them because they were going to cover up your hands. So I can post a few now, actually.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to peruse them after the show and go and say hi to everybody. Thanks for watching and commenting, everybody.
Amazing. I can't even keep up with the comments. There's so many. So great. So great. So I think next up you've got a song called Wendy's Song. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So right around this time, actually, 2 years ago in 2018, a really great friend of mine, and actually someone I considered a mentor, a real supporter of the arts. In fact, I believe she and Ron have probably met at some point. Wendy, she was in hospital just up the road from where we are at Sunnybrook, and she was in the final stages of fighting cancer. And I was at her bedside actually the day that she passed away, and had the chance to let her know I would dedicate the new album to her memory, which was incredibly meaningful to me. And so when I went to write the music for the new album, Out of Dust, the first song that came to mind was the song that was written for her, called Wendy's Song. And it's all about her life. She grew up in rural Ontario, not too far from you guys in Niagara-on-the-Lake, actually. And but then she moved to Toronto, right into the heart of town. And so there was this beautiful kind of intersection of life in the country and life in the city, and this one beautiful human being. And so that's what the song is about. And so I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. So let me just pull up Wendy's Song. That's beautiful.
She was born in southern Ontario, a daughter of the land. And even though it was mid-January, she held a sunflower in each hand. Oh, her days were filled with harmony, and the hymns her mother played. There was reverence in that farmhouse. A firm foundation had been laid, and the fields roll on like galaxies. The starry night their crown, and in that bright lit history, a life is found. And the seasons spin like pinwheels, they cycle round year after year. So many stories worth the telling, and the dreams that brought her here. And the fields turn into city streets, the skyscrapers their crown, and in this bright lit tapestry, a home is found. She will not be forgotten. She will not be forgotten. She will not be forgotten. There is hope in the garden. There is hope in the garden. There is hope in the garden. She will not be forgotten. She will not be forgotten. She will not be forgotten. There is hope in the garden. There is hope in the garden. There is hope in is a promise in the seedling, and every branch and every heart, that when it feels like life is ending, maybe it's only just the start.
Wow. Let me just bring back, whoops, Laila and Ben. Laila, what a beautiful tribute to Wendy.
Thank
Very
you.
moving. Yeah, really beautiful. What's up next? I leave glass. Oh, before we go into the next tune, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So you had a tour that was canceled.
Yeah, a big one. all over Europe, which, you know, it's one of my favorite places to tour, and it took months to set it up, right? That's the way it goes. But we understand, like, there was no choice in the matter, and frankly, we're totally on board with just cautiously and safely reopening things. So yeah, so we're making the best of it here with you.
And thank you, and we're really glad you got to pre-record and your pieces so that we didn't have to deal with technical things, because it's a whole new world, this COVID and live streaming, as you know. So thank you. I know Ben put a lot of time in as well, so thank you, Ben. Really appreciate it. And then in terms of vocals and piano,
Yeah.
you study a lot. Like, tell us about that.
So I grew up a classically trained pianist and actually wanted to be a concert pianist from a very young age. And then I injured my arm when I was 15 in a car accident. And then there were a few other confounding incidents. And yeah, so that was when I began to explore arranging and composition a little bit. And then I went to Humber College, and, you know, I went as a vocalist rather than a pianist because my right arm was still recovering. But I didn't take that many lessons. I wasn't a delinquent student, but I think because I was really first a pianist, when I hooked up with my vocal teacher that first year, she often wanted to just scat, you know, instead of teaching me the fundamentals of vocal production. So I actually feel like there are some gaps there. I've always been a little self-conscious as a singer for fear of those areas where I didn't get the training. But I think I've learned to embrace it. You know, I'm almost 40. I've been doing this 15 years, a little longer than that. And so yeah, so I think it's all about expression, right? And we do that in different ways. I still hope to study someday, but when this is all over.
Yeah, well, we just love how you express yourself, and so keep on doing what you do the way you do it, because it's just fantastic. So let's bring up your next tune. I just want to check my list, but I believe it's Glass House. Yeah, tell us a little bit about Glass House.
You know what? I'm going to let Ben tell the story of this one because he wrote all the music for it. I wrote the melody line and you know, contributed to the lyrics, but really this song came from him. So
okay. So you know, it's basically the song is about a cousin of mine that had tragically passed away a couple of years ago under some very difficult circumstances for the family. And so the words of the song were based on a poem that I had written, just had jotted down on some travels. And we were searching for the lyrics for the song, and I just read Laila the poem. And she really did a beautiful job of taking the basic poem and turning it into a song lyric. And then the other part of it is I just had this piano, Austin, and Laila was up in Banff on a writing retreat for the record. That's kind of her happy creative space. Understandably, it's like so fantastically gorgeous. And so she was up there, and I was just home one afternoon, and I was just playing around on the piano because I do some arranger's piano, I like to call it. And I just came up with this idea and just sent a quick iPhone MP3, just knowing that she was sort of developing ideas. And I sort of got the chronology backwards. That was the very first thing that I sent to Laila. And we didn't know that it was going to be called Glass House. We didn't know it was going to be about my cousin Kitty. We just had this idea. It was more a harmonic piano idea. And then it was later that we kind of married the poem and the lyrics, and that's kind of how it happened. Yeah.
And I'm just going to jump in and say, you know, I know these are like tough sources of inspiration, but the reason I call the album Out of Dust is because, you know, really it's about the journey of entering into the struggle, which I think a lot of us are dealing with right now in the pandemic, but then kind of finding that proverbial light at the end of the tunnel and walking into it. So all of the songs move towards hope.
Beautiful. And so inspiring to see a duo making such beautiful music. Right? Like, wow.
Well, you know all about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Hey, Peter. Hey,
there he is.
Inspiring.
Yes, we do.
Inspiring. We got to get writing some tunes here.
We're cousin in arms.
Yeah. So let me pull up Glass House, and thanks for that beautiful intro.
Last night, angels they wept, rocked like a child as we slept. But the dam wouldn't burst. Waters they rose and your body's immersed. Track to slow hands of time. Cruel is a word that whines. You pretend not to care. Drink in the anger and drown in despair. In this glass house, we passed the wine, we broke the bread.
bring them back. Beautiful tune.
Thank you.
What a treat, you guys. What a treat. So how long have you both been working together?
We met in 2007 at Euphoria Studios in New York City with Paula Cole's band. You remember Paula Cole? I don't want to wait. That was her big hit in the 90s. And she actually left the music biz for, I think, 7 years to raise her young daughter. And then she came back to it. And this guy from LA, Bobby Colombi, assembled a new band to support the relaunch of her career. And Ben was summoned. He knew Paula back from their days in Boston.
Yeah.
And I was like this newbie pianist singer that Bobby encountered through the work I did with Chris Botti. And so Bobby met me at a Chris Botti gig in Temecula, California, on a winery. And then it was shortly thereafter that I got the call about playing piano in Paula's band, which is interesting because Paula's such a great piano player. But this was an album that featured Herbie Hancock and David Foster and Billy Childs on piano. So they wanted a pianist with some more jazz chops than Paula had. And that was how I entered the fold, and that was how we met.
Oh my gosh, what a great story. And the rest is history, as they say.
The rest is history.
Nice. So your next tune is called Satellite.
Yes.
Tell us about that one.
This has a Niagara-on-the-Lake connection. Joshua, our son, who's now 10 and very quietly staying in his room, thank goodness.
For now, yeah.
He was a baby, and Ben and I were still touring a fair bit separately from one another. And the boys at that time were back home in Brooklyn, and I was playing a festival, much like yours, in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And it was just one of those perfect summer nights, not as hot and humid as it is these days. And I was driving back to where I was staying for the night after the gig, just kind of reveling in the wonderful, warm Niagara-on-the-Lake vibes. But I really missed my boys and was thinking about how we can kind of mentally bring ourselves nearer to people, which is something that I think a lot of us are doing during COVID. And so as I was driving, this song popped to mind, and it was sort of like, sending out a signal to my boys via satellite, where my mind is the satellite, trying to make that connection.
Nice. Well, let's put on Satellite, and looking forward.
Flight on silver wing. The radio spins a song, but I can't hear you sing along. It goes yaddy 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 the August night is funneled through the window cracked as I drive to. You satellite, you signal me. It cuts across the galaxy, and it goes yaddy 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 yaddy. 'Cause it's a long way home to you. You song. And now I hear you sing along. You're singing addy, 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 you're singing addy, 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 you're singing addy, 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 'cause I'm almost done with you.
Amazing. Where'd they go? There they are. Oh
Hi.
my God. I didn't realize that that's the one that was in the promo video that you did. And I've
Yay!
listened to it so much. I was like, oh, that's Satellite. That's gorgeous.
Thank
Such a
you.
gorgeous tune. So you just wrote it like that quickly, huh?
Well, no. So yes and no. The lyrics, the concept came to mind while I was driving,
Right.
and I'm describing what I was experiencing in the car in that moment. You know, the windows cracked open and the warm air pouring into the car and the radio on in the background. But of course, I had to go to a piano and kind of flesh out the song. But I generally do write songs in one sitting, and then this guy comes along and helps me kind of tame the beast,
Wow.
tame the muse. Yeah, and then that's a longer process of editing and really evaluating, you know, the form and what's being said. And yeah, he's my right-hand man.
Amazing. Amazing. So we're trying to pull up we have two more songs. So we wanted to finish with your revival video. And in fact, so we're just trying to pull that one up now. And then there's still the one. So did you want to tell us about Revival in case we can't get the other one up first, and then we'll reverse the order. So tell us about Revival. The video.
Oh, it looks like it might be coming up.
Oh,
So-
is it? Oh, are we still on my screen? Oh,
it looks like something's popping up in the middle of the screen. It's very exciting.
It looks like
Okay, wait a second.
Okay.
So, and now I'm trying to find where I am. Maybe Bonnie, if Bonnie can hear me, she can pull it up because I can't find the stream here.
We see you, Julia. We still got you.
You can see me, and I
Yeah.
Oh,
can't
yeah.
find, I can't find myself.
Ah.
Welcome to my world.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. So if Bonnie can hear me, if Bonnie can pull up either Revival. Oh wait, you know what? I can't see it. Bonnie, help me. I was doing so well. So you guys can see me.
Yes.
We
And I
can.
can't find the stream now on the windows.
Now-
Oh, it looks like it's still the one.
I think still the one is queued up.
So
Oh,
Bonnie's pulled it up, and I think Bonnie's going to remove me from the stream and play the video, I'm hoping.
Thanks, Bonnie.
There's a car at the stage door. The crowds are all gone. In the helter and skelter of love's lost parade, I'll follow your star, 'cause I know it was made for a beautiful light that shines out throughout. You're still the one that I streets are like sawdust and the skies open wide, and the cafe sings softly to people outside. I remember your voice and it all tumbles out. You're still the one I can't do without. So bring on the clowns and the painted backgrounds, the lavender blue skies, and the reasons why I open my heart too soon, no doubt. 'Cause you're still the one that I dream about. So I rolled up the moon and I packed up the tents. The acrobats wait and they jump the fence. If I can't have you, then I'll do without. 'Cause you're still the one that I dream about. The helter and skelter of love's lost parade. Follow your star, 'cause I know it was made for the beautiful light that shines down throughout. You're still the one that I think about. You're still the one that I dream about.
I know Bonnie jumped in and jumped out, so I'm going to pull up what I had ready here.
Sure,
I
great.
think I did, which was Revival. So did you want to tell us about Revival?
For sure. This song was written when I was in Banff doing that 6-day writing session. And I was just thinking about politics, specifically politics stateside. And, you know, I didn't want to get overly political, so to speak, but felt that, you know, something needed to be said about how the positive side of what's been happening stateside and the way in which it's impacted the world, and these movements that have risen up over the course of the past, you know, almost 4 years now, where people are coming together and fighting for the causes they believe in, which happen to be causes that are aligned with what I believe in. Everything from climate change to equal rights, you know, for women and for people of color. And so I wrote this song then, and little did I know it would take on a whole new meaning in this, you know, time in history. And we're actually working on a Quarantunes version that's going to come out shortly.
Yeah,
So we're really excited about that. But this was shot, can you believe this? At the very beginning of March, right before lockdown. And we were in the streets of New York City. This beautiful young dancer, Angel Walton, came up from the Baltimore area. And I learned when she was filming with us that she used dance as a means to overcoming the bullying she experienced at school. And so suddenly there's this little powerhouse, bright light, leading the charge with movement. And meanwhile, there's this incredible story, kind of in the background that now I get to bring to the forefront in interviews like this, because she's the next generation and she's something else. So wait till you see her.
She's so inspiring.
So much joy, and she's just such a lovely little dancer. And well, say no more. Let me bring it up. Here we go.
Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire underground. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire blowing round. 16th year of the 21st century. It was a year that shifted all of history. 6 billion souls, 3 planets from the sun. A new election. So run, so run. 70th year of the 21st century. 200,000 women marching for equality. 6 million more united into one. We're rising up. So who run. Paint your signs, lace up your shoes. Take a stand, there's no excuse. Lift your voices, stake your claim, and get yourself into the game. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire blowing round. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down. The 18th year of the 21st century. A girl from Sweden, breaking through the apathy. 7 billion souls together under one sun. The ocean rises, so who run, so who run. Paint your signs, lace up your shoes. Got to change that point of view. Find your courage, take your claim, and use the power of your name. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire blowing round. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire underground. Stop your feet, lift your voice, hit the street. Come on, paint your signs, lace your shoes, take the stand, no excuse. Come on down, stop your feet, lift your voice, hit the street. Come on down when you lace your shoes, take a stand, no excuse. Stop your pain, stop your fear, lift your voice, it's a fire astray. Come on down when you lace your shoes, take a stand, there's a fire astray. Come on down when you hear that sound. Come on down, there's a fire blowing round. Come on down when you hear that sound.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, we did have an issue with the other song, so what we'll have to do is post it on our YouTube and Facebook channel. Is that, if that's okay with you?
It's
Perfect.
wonderful. I know we're over time anyway. As some people know, I'm supposed to be hosting Saturday Night Jazz right now, and I am somehow, miraculously.
Very cool. Well, thanks to your boss for letting us have you.
Oh.
And thanks to you both. So, future plans?
Oh, yes. So, well, we're actually going to go west, believe it or not, all going well. We're going to do it all very safely, and we're actually not going to see family for the first couple of weeks that we're in BC. We're just going to kind of stick to our own family unit. We're actually going to play a couple of physically distanced outdoor concerts with very, very limited number of attendees, everybody in masks and physically distanced also. So this is the new frontier. And, we'll wait on Bonnie Henry, who's the health minister in BC. And if things change, we're prepared just to stay in Toronto. And then, looking towards the fall, we hope that Josh will be back in school in some capacity, but again, safety first. So we'll see how that all turns out. And, soon, I think when the dust settles, we will start to dig into new music, look towards the next album, because that's what we all do, right, Juliet? And yeah, that's all I got for now. You, Ben, anything to add?
I'm with her.
Thanks so much for having us, Juliet, and thank you to, again, Ron Minkin and Minkin Employment, and also Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Jazz Festival, TD Niagara Jazz Festival. Bonnie, who has been helping, and of course to everybody watching and commenting and tuning in. We're going to go poke around and look at your comments. And and James for opening. He sounds amazing.
Yeah, wonderful job.
So great. 16 years old.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. I'm going to come see you backstage in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to sign off.
Perfect.
Yay.
So thanks so
Bye,
much.
Juliet. Bye,
Bye,
Peter.
everybody.
So great to see you guys.
See you and to hear you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Laila Biali and Ben Whitman, everyone. I think I might be echoing, so I won't talk for too much longer. One more thank you to our sponsor, and I have some news about our sponsor for this evening. Let me put up his slide. So our sponsor Ronald Minkin Lawyers just won the Canadian HR Reporter Award for Canada's Best Employment Law and Labor Boutique. So big congratulations to Ron Minkin, our friend and sponsor for this evening. I'm just going to play a couple of demo videos, which you'll enjoy because I won't be echoing like I am right now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. See you on Tuesday for Davis Rogan and Cocktails live from New Orleans.